What's up, everybody? So, a little project update. The Honda, we have the oil pump is on, the tensioner, this little plastic piece that's like the rear timing belt cover. I don't know what they call it, if that's exactly what they call it or what. That has to go on. Then your cam sprocket. Of course, we got the belt on. We haven't adjusted the valves yet. We're still got to do that. But we got the oil pump pickup tube on, and the rear main seal is what we need to do next. But after we got the oil pump pickup tube on, I thought, you know what, this would be a great time to check the oil pan and make sure everything fits on it. And this is an ATP oil pan that I bought off of Rock Auto, and there's the part number. And it says made in China, but an ATP, I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of ATP. It wasn't a familiar brand name to me. But when we looked at Rock Auto, there was one cheaper. I forget which brand it was, but it was like 36 bucks. Well, this one was about 50 to 60 bucks. And of course, probably about 12, 13 bucks shipping. But anyways, reason I picked this one was because it had a lifetime warranty. And all the other ones were like 12,000 mile or 12-month warranty, somewhere around there. So I thought, well, you know what, being a little more expensive, the better warranty, maybe it's better quality. Well, as soon as we got it, or got it out, which that's the other thing is I ordered all this stuff months ago before we started the project. So I'm beyond the 30 days to return it back to Rock Auto. So anyways, we went to go put it on. And so this engine uses studs for most of the oil pan. I think there's 6 studs or 8 studs, and then the rest are bolts, maybe 6 bolts, 8 bolts, something like that. Anyways, we went to go put them on. Well, it wouldn't even line up with the studs. So we had marked, I had marked them with a marker, and I put tape on all the ones that needed to be ground out, which there was more tape than that, but this is just what we were peeling it off as we were going. So anyways, we masked all this off. I marked out which ones needed to be ground and got a little die grinder and ground them out. Well, then once we got clearance to put it on, then it hits inside the pan, hits on your main bolts. And so your main bearing cap, or whatever you want to call that, stud, girdle, whatever thing. So it doesn't even sit right. And then we started measuring with a straight edge, comparing to the old one. It looks like it's shallower, so I was concerned about how much clearance was around the oil pump pickup tube, and even the oil pump, the dipstick tube. You line that up, we put it on there lined up with the studs. You put the dipstick in, and it doesn't even line up with the hole in the pan. So that was going to have to be notched out. So, like I said, I know, and there's no way to talk to anybody at Rock Auto. So I actually found a phone number for ATP. I called them and then found out when I got on their website, they apparently combined with Pioneer. And it's one funny thing that I saw as well is there's a Pioneer oil pan that they sell on Rock Auto. So, and that one is a little more than this one. I think it was like 70 or 80 bucks. Anyways, talked to the tech guy, and, thinking like, oh, I'll send you a new one because this one, must be bad or something, or it's got made in error or whatever. Anyways, he said, yeah, I'll send you a brand new one, but it's going to be just the same as the one you have. So that was a little disappointing. So, it doesn't really do me any good. I guess unless I want to cut this one, and the reason we wanted to go with a new one, not only was our old one, pretty dirty from spinning a rod bearing, it got all kinds of pieces of the rod or the bearing in there and stuff. But, we just thought, well, it's got a pretty good dent in it. So I thought, well, rather than investing the time and the energy and everything to clean it up, and then it still has a dent, we would just go with a brand new one. Well, we haven't 100% decided what we're going to do. If we're going to try to clean the old one and reuse it, try to get a different one. I don't know. Probably not from Rock Auto, but maybe from somewhere else. Unfortunately, local junkyards in Upol don't have any 92 to 95 Civics right now, so that's not an option. Anyway, so kind of disappointed that they seem to be aware that there's a fitment issue, but they haven't done anything to remedy it. So if you're doing a project like this, a 1.6, and I don't know if 1.5s are the same. I think they are. But if you're doing a Honda 1.6, I would not recommend an ATP oil pan. So, like I said, maybe, I guess if you want to cut up pieces of it and use it to patch one or make a skid plate or something out of one, that's about all it would be good for. Anyways, so that's what we're kind of waiting on that. On the Ford Fusion, this is the stuff I was talking about that I want to flush the engine crankcase out with. It's Engine Performance Restorer, or Restoration, sorry. BG makes this. It's part number 109. You just add this to the oil right before an oil change, and it says run it at 1200 RPM for 10 minutes. Then you drain it and refill it with new oil. So that's going to be one of the next things I do here soon. Don't know if I'll make a video on that or not. I probably will make a video on, I got to do a starter on my Suburban. This is the starter that was on it, and I just swapped it, had this one rebuilt at a local place in Albuquerque. So I want to put this one back on, and I'll probably make a video kind of showing the shimming, because I had to do, I don't think this one was shimmed properly to begin with, since I've owned that Suburban. This is the first time I've had to do a starter on it, but the starter I temporarily put on there, which was several months ago, I had to shim that one, and so I didn't put the dust cover back on and stuff like that. So I want to at some point swap this starter back onto it, reshim it correctly, and then I'll probably make a video, just because I was looking at videos on shimming starters and stuff, which I've used shims and stuff in the past, but I couldn't really find any videos. I was having a few issues with it, which I'll explain in the video, but I had a few issues with clearance, and all the videos I was finding on YouTube and stuff were just showing like with an engine on the stand and showing how you do your clearance and stuff for the ring gear or flywheel, flex plate, whatever. And, you know, that to me didn't really relate as much as when you're doing it on the vehicle. A couple other little things I kind of been reorganizing since we were kind of waiting for parts. Oh, we sent a bunch of parts to a machine shop in Albuquerque to get cleaned. And this valve cover, because we pressure washed this and, you know, sprayed it with Simple Green and some other stuff, but this had a whole lot of sludge in it, and it was pretty dirty. So we took it up to a machine shop, they bead blasted it, and that came out really nice. I was pretty impressed with that. We had them do this coolant tube, thermostat housing, that all came out real nice. Then we even had them clean, they just ran this through their parts washer, but this is the crankcase chamber, whatever they call that. So while we were waiting for parts and kind of figuring out what we're going to do with that oil pan issue, I had worked a little bit on reorganizing in here, trying to clean up some stuff. And I've had these lights, they're probably 15 to 20 years old. I finally got them put up, and they had just been sitting on a shelf, and so I wanted to put those up. So I didn't, you know, they just ran the cord kind of temporarily. I put some little holder things to hold the wires up out of the way, and the new versions of these, I got these at Costco, and the new versions actually have a little pull string to turn them on and off, but these ones you just plug them in. I'm going to probably run like a surge protector and just flip them on and off like that when I need them. But we tried them out the other night, and it's really bright in here. They work really good. So finally got those up. Other projects I got coming up, I don't know if I'll video or not, but I still need to put a radiator in the Nissan. I've had that since I think July, but it's not leaking super bad, so I just been driving it, making sure it stays full. But at some point I want to do that, and I'd like to incorporate an auxiliary transmission cooler and some other little upgrades I kind of want to do to that car in general. But anyways, that's where we're at. Just wanted to give you guys a little update, and thanks for watching.